If I'm honest, and I'm going to be honest because I've been honest all the way, why not? I tell you, I pissed myself. No, take that out.
All my menopausal ladies, are you with me?
Yeah!
I think we've done 3 parts before now, so this is part 4.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the other parts and you want to know it all, then go and watch those, because from someone who hasn't been through the menopause, it's very enlightening, and I feel like I know my shiz on the topic now.
And I think call in the husbands, the brothers, don't leave the boys out. Let's get them all in so they all know what's happening in their own houses.
It's on a need-to-know basis.
Absolutely. And everybody needs to know.
Exactly.
Because about 50% of us are going to be struck with this, right?
Exactly. And if not, we're going to be affected by it because of somebody who knows us that is going through it.
There you go.
It's just like the plague. Should we do a card first?
Yes, please.
And then we'll get right on into it. We've also asked for questions on Instagram, so you guys have sent in your questions that hopefully Andrea will be able to help you with the answer to.
I'll try. Oh, before we start, can I ask you to please subscribe? Would that be all right?
Oh, that's...
Because if I ask them now, if I bore them later, I apologise, but at least I've asked.
You could never bore us.
Oh, thanks, Bob.
This one says, tune into your moods. Most of us are so busy with tasks at work that we don't pay attention to our emotions.
That is so apt right now.
It actually is. Very on point for the video.
There you go. You see, it's literally coming out of every pore. Even my fingertips were able to pick the right card.
Amazing.
Fasten your seatbelts, everybody, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Hello, my name's Andrea. I'm 54 in a couple of months. I've been perfectly happy and no issues until I literally turned 50 years old.
I love this new robot, Andrea.
And then, to put it mildly, the shit hit the fan. I went into just a massive list of issues, nothing big enough to stop me from doing anything, but enough issues for me to think, what has happened to me? Where has Andrea gone? The last video took us up to where I was on 100 somethings. It could be grams, could be milligrams, could be tons. I can't tell you because perimenopause is in my brain. I was on this maximum dose
of HRT patches.
Correct.
So then, what happened from the last video to now?
Oh boy. Well, I went back to the doctors because what happened was, not only was I having migraines almost every other day, I was also, you're not eating your tea, are you? If you're eating your tea, press pause, come back to me later.
Do we want to know?
Here goes. I was having a period almost every other week.
Oh my God.
Too much, guys, right?
The cycle was vicious.
It was vicious. Yes, it was.
Oh dear.
And it was draining. So I went back to the doctors. We went through everything, and would you believe something was brought to light, which was I hadn't been taking any progesterone, the word I can't say. I hadn't been taking any. So the previous doctors had not put me on that, and that is to balance the estrogen that you're getting from the HRT.
Right.
Turns out that's not very clever. And I've been doing that for about a year.
Right.
So, the lovely new doctor said to me, right, we need to get you on these, and I think this might really help. So we swapped. So I was having the 100 patch and the tablets. You have the tablets every 2 weeks and you change your patch twice a week. Is this getting complicated?
Well, there's patches and tablets left, right and centre.
And what's weird is when you can't remember your own name and then you have to remember what days to flip in.
I mean,
pop a pill and stick a patch on. You're all over the shop. So I've been on that for about a year. I had lots of checkups to make sure that everything was working, and it should be, because of the extra dose of estrogen without the progesterone word I can't say.
That, you know what? I just got to interject there. That's bad.
It ain't good.
They were then having to check you because potentially you dangerously had too much estrogen because the doctor hadn't given you the right balance.
Correct. I wasn't particularly tough with it because that meant I had to have blood tests. I'm not very good with blood tests. I had to have a...
Oh no.
Yeah, check the lining of my womb because it makes your lining of your womb thicker. So they want to make sure it's...
Oh man.
I know.
Oh bless you.
I had to get my chuzzies out.
No.
Yeah.
Oh God. No
and have those checked as well.
Flipping hell, Anne.
So just let me recap that. If you're still having your periods and they put you on HRT, you should be having progesterone. Progesterone, is that the word?
Yes, I think so.
To go with it.
Right.
And if you don't, you need to go back and see why not.
Right, okay.
I think the other lady had assumed my periods had stopped.
Right.
Anyway, I won't hold it against her, right? We move forward in a positive manner.
Love and light.
Love and light, love and light. So anyway, about 6 months ago, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said, you know what, Andrew, you're still getting your headaches. I really think you should pop back for flipping it. They're going to be sick of the sight of me. She said, what you want to do is ask them about this other patch, which is called... I have it here.
Oh, show and tell.
Yeah. It is called Estradot.
Okay.
Can you see it, Bob?
I think so.
Now, she said to me that this patch, instead of being a synthetic HRT, was a natural HRT.
Oh.
This patch is half the size of the other.
Yeah.
So the other patch wasn't far off that, and now it's like that.
Right.
The other patch used to itch after a couple of days and be a little bit sore, a bit like my body was going, ow, get off.
Yeah.
Well, this doesn't do that. And there has been some serious improvements.
Oh my goodness.
Would you like me to list them?
Please do.
I'm touching wood here because I'm a migraine sufferer and I'm touching wood, Bobs. I don't want to keep banging on about it, but I've hardly had a migraine since being on the Estradot.
Right.
In addition, my periods are much less painful and have gone down to only a few days in a month. I think we're down to like 4 or 5 days in a month.
Right.
Bearing in mind I was having them every fortnight.
Yeah.
Which obviously the tablets helped with, but this is noticeably different.
Yeah.
Plus, I believe that all my other symptoms that could sometimes on their own, just one or another, fire up now and again, haven't been doing it. So I feel like now I'm really, really steady.
Yeah.
I feel in good spirits. I feel less bloated. I don't feel quite as spongy and swollen with water retention. My brain fog, I'm going to be honest, is still absolutely shite.
So, in conclusion then, you change the patch to the same dosage along with your tablets.
Yes.
But it was a natural estrogen rather than a
synthetic. I believe so.
And now you're feeling a lot better.
I do.
That's really interesting.
Very interesting.
But we're also at least 4 years into your menopause journey and you're only just at a place through trial and error and things changing that and 2 different doctors that's 2 different places of doctors to get to this point.
I know. And what that says to me is we're still very early days on the menopause journey and everybody's knowledge about it.
And everyone's different.
We're all so different.
Yeah.
So I think part of the power of this menopause thing is all women talking to each other.
Yeah.
And different age groups.
Yes.
And get the men involved.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing better than when you're feeling shocking or, you're in that irritable mood. You know what I'm talking about. And you go to them, I'm not having a good day today. And instead of potentially snapping back with, I can tell, or making a joke of it, that they just appreciate that it's a little bit more upsetting than that and just step back a bit and go, yeah, okay, no probs. Can I do anything for you? The only way we can get to that is if everybody talks about it and everybody knows.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for that now.
Definitely.
Oh. Yeah. Whereas before I always used to know I do it all myself. I am Superwoman. I can do it all. Miss Independent. Yeah, forget that. We're into, let's all work together. Let's all work together to make my life easier. Your body is changing.
Yeah.
It's not a little change. It's a massive change.
Absolutely.
And at the same time that all those physical things are going on, your brain does funny things to you, like doesn't allow you to sleep. Sleep deprivation is horrific.
Yeah.
Since I had you, my darling, and you never slept, I can tell you that sleep deprivation is a form of torture. And I know they use that as torture, but it actually is. I've lived it, right? And
can we just say that was when I was a baby? This doesn't happen now.
No.
And also I was ill, so give me something.
When she says ill, she was allergic to a milk. Let's not start being dramatic. Anyway, it's not about you, McKenna. It's about me. So what I'm saying is,
you just make that clear.
what I'm saying is, I can't make apologies for that because it's a massive change. And you, like, for instance, the lack of sleep is horrific.
And that then makes symptoms worse because if you've not had your sleep, you're not thinking straight. Everything gets more irritating.
You worry about things that you've never worried about before in your entire life. You sometimes find yourself with some very deep, dark thoughts and you think, huh? And, you know, like I'm like, get that out of my head immediately. It's just bizarre. So obviously changes are happening in your brain as well. So, yeah.
But it's like any hormonal shift in life. So puberty. When a lady's had a baby. Like all the hormonal shifts can cause this like massive change in personality almost. And you're learning to get to know your new body. So shall we get on to the questions that
Oh yes sent? Please.
Do you have aches in your bones, especially wrist and knees?
Brilliant question. My answer to that is yes, I did. I no longer have those now. I'm on the patches. So particularly I noticed, this is one of the things that stuck out to me. I've never had aches and pains before, but my knee hurt me so much that the weight of the quilt on top of me, that's like the bedding, the weight of that was unbearable. So I had to have my leg hanging out of the bed because I couldn't stand the pain that my knee was in. How strange. But they've gone since I've been on the patches.
Right. I'm on HRT, but anxiety still creeps in. Is it still the same for you? And any tips on how to manage?
Okay. So some people describe it as anxiety. And I think the same feeling is like a nervous feeling. That's how I describe it. I don't think I'm an anxious person, but I know that feeling of where it's almost the butterflies go into your chest and then you're a bit like worried and so to me that translates as nerves. It happens far less. It was happening a lot to where I can imagine that if I allowed it to, I'd almost stop myself from going out or doing something because this nervous feeling was like there all the time and you're sort of agitated with it and you just want to sort of calm down. But actually, that is another thing that's almost disappeared. I do still get the odd sort of funny flutter now and again, but it's so few and far between. It doesn't like register with me.
Right. Andrea, did you gain weight? If so, how did you get rid of it?
I bloody did.
We kind of touched on that, didn't we? With was it the tablets that were causing you to gain weight?
So when I had HRT via tablet form, it was instant, just a complete bloating up. I'm sure it was all water retention. When I changed the patch, that over a matter of a few weeks slipped off. Not entirely though. And I think I've kept on about probably half a stone. That it doesn't seem like it wants to shift anywhere. So that's a bit annoying because that's the bit between me being a one size and another size. So like I feel like I'm sort of in this in-between place. I'm not particularly happy about that. I think that also, unfortunately, as much as I don't want it to, it does make you think you've got to do more when it comes to less sugar in your diet. Eating more healthy foods, being more mindful of what you're putting in. I don't want to. I just want to eat what I want to eat. But I've definitely, my taste buds have had this shift.
Someone said that. There was a question about that. Has your taste changed? I'm 41 and swear I'm going through it.
Totally. That is such a good question because it was one of the it wasn't even on my list. It was one of the things I thought, well, that's weird.
It just dawned on you at some stage.
Dawned on me. All of a sudden, I prefer more salty food. So olives and what else have we been having? Crisps. Like, I've never been a crisp lover.
She's been a sweet tooth.
Totally. Bar of chocolate. Big piece of cake. Don't hold back. Give me the sweet stuff. I look forward to my meals because I'm having the sweet stuff afterwards.
You hated strawberries with a vengeance.
Hated them.
Now she loves strawberries. Look, she's sporting the strawberries on her top. She loves strawberries.
I love a strawberry. They made me feel a bit itchy.
But now they don't.
No.
That's so flipping weird. There was also things about alcohol. Do you find alcohol doesn't agree with you? As soon as I drink, I get restless legs bad. And then somebody else said about I'm extremely tired and have low energy levels and can't drink alcohol. Any suggestions?
See, there we go again. So I think I was 40 before I found cocktails were rather nice. I think by the time I was 45, I was thoroughly enjoying a cocktail when I went out, and then we got on to rosé, and before I know it, let's get a rosé with tea. Oh, lovely, 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 right? Lovely. I would still say relatively low amount of alcohol, but when you go from really not bothered at all and then you're drinking perhaps a glass of rosé a night, that's a big shift, right? Anyway, about, I don't know, we went to Spain last summer, and don't get me wrong, when I got back, it wasn't I thought, oh, I drank too much, but I was just so tired. And so I've been on holiday, right? We'd had 4 lovely, peaceful days in the sun, but we've been drinking the whole time. So I felt tired. My skin felt dry. I felt lethargic, like I couldn't be bothered. That's not me. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to knock this alcohol on the head. And I have pretty much cut it out. I'm lying if I say I've had none, because if I go out with the girls, I might have a glass of something, or if I go out for a meal, I might have a glass of something during that entire evening. But if I'm honest, I feel so much better by having sort of a clean mind, and I feel knackered the next day anyway if I've had a late night, because late nights completely floor me now. So if I had alcohol on top of that, I'd be useless to everybody.
Yeah.
So don't bother with the alcohol. It doesn't affect my mood. I have a great time. In fact, if I'm honest, I'm so thoroughly aware of what's going on around me. I laugh so hard my sides hurt. Because I'm laughing at everybody else, just getting all merry and saying stupid things.
Yeah.
So I don't miss it, but I would definitely advise drinking less if you can.
It's like another shift, isn't it?
Yes.
Because if people have been used to drinking, now they can't cope with it.
Yes.
Or it's making them feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, that's different.
I'd like to give an analogy, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Bear with me, because I'm usually really good at these. I need something long and straight. Let's use that. So that candle is your life, and you get halfway down your life. You're completely balanced. Then you get halfway down your life. Let's say we all live to 100.
Right. Is this getting morbid?
No, there's nothing morbid about this at all.
Right.
And then there's this shift. The balance in a person shifts. So all of a sudden, it goes like this. So then it does that.
It's dipping.
It's dipping. And what you got to do is find the balance at the right time, to bring you back in line. That is the analogy I give, because when there's a shift within you that you can't see, you've got to work out what the balance is to bring you back to where you were.
Love that. And you know, when people are pregnant and they have cravings, your body almost tells you things that you do or don't need.
Yes.
And if you tune into that, like the reason that you're maybe struggling with alcohol now is because your body doesn't want it.
Yes.
It's not coping well with it.
Yes.
So I think don't be concerned that that's a change, because like Andrea liking strawberries, things change, right? and you just got to go with it.
Yes. And there's a bit of you that becomes, I've always been intuitive.
Yeah.
But now I'm so intuitive with my own body.
Yeah.
I don't even worry about a night when everybody else is drinking and I'm not. Why would it be a thing?
Yeah.
If I want to drink bottled water all night, then I'll happily do that. I'm in a great place.
Yeah.
So I'd sooner do that than join in and feel absolutely lousy for it, because my body's telling me no.
Yeah.
And if I see a bottle of rosé now and anybody says, oh, do you fancy a glass? I've really got to fancy a glass before I'd say yes.
There's another one here about body image.
Yeah.
Any tips for coping with changes in body shape? I can't get rid of my meno belly. Oh, meno belly. That's cute.
That is cute. And I hear you, and I know exactly what you're talking about. The reality is, I might save on my Instagram every day an exercise thing that I could do, but am I going to do it? No. So the reality is, are we going to get back in those lovely trousers that we bought 5 years ago? No. It's sad, but it's true. I think that meno belly is an absolute nightmare, isn't it? Because you cannot shift it. You just can't. And in your head, you're like, oh, really? But no matter what you do, it doesn't go anywhere. So what you've got to start to do is just love yourself the way you are. Be grateful of what you've got. Not be so hard on yourself, because if you've got to our age, that's already a blessing, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then if you continue past that and you're able to balance everything else, really, who's going to be talking about the belly? Nobody's going to be talking about it. You lose your confidence as well. So you think that you don't look as good as you used to, which is true, right? Because we're aging. So we probably aren't as aesthetically pleasing as we used to be. That's just life. So it's a bit of a mental thing. It's a bit of a mental struggle, and getting past the fact that, okay, you know, everything might need a bit of a tone up. You know, you got grey hair now, and you know, your skin's a bit crinkly, and you've got this belly, and you don't feel as pretty anymore. But, you know, you've got to give yourself a break. You've done amazing. You get into that age where, you know, you can look back and think, flipping heck, this life is awesome. And I can either live it and not get caught up in all the other baggage.
Yeah.
That nobody else gives a shit about.
Yeah, nobody else notices.
It's all up here.
Yeah.
Again, it's part of the change in you.
Yeah.
You start to have these thoughts about, oh my God, look at the state of you. Oh my God, look, you're a size bigger. Oh my God, I can't shift that weight. Really? Because the only person that thinks that day is you.
Absolutely.
So you need to get past that. And it's not, it doesn't happen overnight.
Easier said than done,
of course
isn't
it
it
is. I just have a bit of a crisis of confidence momentarily. And then I think, no, bugger it, I can do this. That's what you have to do. You just have to get your line ready. No, bugger this. I'm going to on with it.
Straight away. Don't indulge in it. Because like any thought that's coming from that part of your brain that's trying to tear you down, it's not true.
We're putting too much pressure on ourselves. Literally, this world does it. But it puts too much pressure on yourself from day dot.
Yeah.
And then you get halfway through and then you think everything's just horrendous. And it's really not.
Aging is a luxury.
Yes.
And your body is doing the best it can.
Yes.
And it's amazing that it's still going to this point, and it's making this change itself, because that's what it's got to do.
Yes.
Oh, this is just a quick one. Did it affect your bladder?
Oh, good point. Can I share?
Yeah, go on.
Can I share, though?
No, please do. I
don't know whether I want to share. But I'm going to share, right? Because this is what we're like, right? We're going to be honest.
Yeah.
This never used to happen before, but if I go out of nowhere, say I'm laughing or somebody makes me jump, let's say I cough, let's say I jump, you know, too high, are we a bit?
No, really?
I do, yeah. I've told everybody now. Not every time. It's not every time. There's no rhyme or reason.
Right.
But I think it's a thing. So yes, if you're asking about the bladder works, I think they go a little bit loose.
Oh dear.
I know. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it's like a thing.
It's a change.
Yeah, it does happen. If anybody tells you it doesn't happen, it's either not happened to them yet or they're not telling you the truth.
Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, that doesn't mean I'm sat in a puddle all the time. I just want to get that out.
She stinks of urine.
Just because I put that out there, right?
Let's end on this one.
Okay.
I want to hear your opinion on this.
Okay.
What's the best way to support someone experiencing the menopause?
Oh, wow. Right. I don't get teary saying this, Bobs, but you have been my best support ever. I'm just going to give myself a second to get over that. If you can get yourself a perimenopause buddy, I'm not suggesting the best person is a person that's also going through it. I think they're great to talk to.
Yeah.
But what you could do with really is somebody, if they're in the house even better, that will just be thinking about the best for you all the time. So if you're having a day when you're struggling, then bless her, McKenna will run around with the Hoover, let's say. Or she'll say, "You all right, Aunt?" Or she'll check if I've had my patch changed. Or, "Do you fancy going out for a walk?" No, I'm not bothered. Come on, come out for a walk. Fresh air will do you good. Stuff like that. Just little steps of somebody showing that they care means the world. Can't say any more because I'm crying.
I'm your menopause buddy.
What?
Mother daughter menopause buddy.
Yeah. And if I'm honest, and I'm going to be honest because I've been honest all way, why not? I tell you, I pissed myself. No, take that out. If I'm going to be honest, this sounds so weird. I don't really revel in the fact of perimenopause finishing because in my brain that's when you stop your periods, and then in my brain that's it, you're proper granny mode.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, a glammy Grammy. A glammy granny.
No offence to any grannies out there. Period or no period. Old or young. Right.
I love grannies and we got 2 awesome ones.
Your
but what
point
I'm saying is, my point to that is, from a...
It's an end of an era.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Please leave any advice that anybody else has in the comments, or if anybody has any more questions, and we can go through them. And obviously there'll be another update when there's things to update you on, won't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
You should go back to the first video, because that's what it was like for me right at the beginning. And then the next 2 videos were how I was right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And now maybe, who knows, I might be coming towards the end of my perimenopause journey.
Yeah.
And so this is how I feel at the minute, and maybe that sort of 4-year cycle is exactly what you will go through in those 4 years.
Yeah. Let's do a shout out, Andrea.
Oh, let's.
A menopause shout out.
Oh dear, they might not want it to be.
Today's shout out goes to Snufflebuff. Now, we don't know Snufflebuff's real name.
No.
Maybe that is Snufflebuff's real name.
Maybe.
So I'm going to say Snufflebuff. Thank you so much for commenting and thank you for being so lovely. We really appreciate it. If they haven't already, then what do they need to do, Andrea?
We'd really like it if you could please like, subscribe, comment, share us with a friend, and go over to TikTok and Instagram and follow us there.
Yeah! Once you've done those 5 things, we'd be so incredibly grateful. And we'll see you next week for a Primark haul.
A Primark haul?
I think so.
Okay.
Bye.